All right. Whew. Welcome to 30. This is a 365-day experiment. About this time next year, I'll be turning 30 years old, and I'm gonna run 30 miles. That's so crazy to say. Okay. It's gonna be 52 weeks of running, of strength training, CrossFit training, preparing my body and preparing my mind so that I can handle 30 miles straight on my birthday. But I think it is achievable if I stick to my plan. If you don't know me, welcome. My name is James. I obviously am 29 years old and I'm a father, I'm a husband, I work in marketing. I have a couple jobs in marketing. I do consulting, I do project management. I'm not a full-time athlete by any means. I do what I can to fit it into my schedule. And yeah, this is kind of an experiment to ask myself, can I achieve what maybe only 1% of the world or less than 1% of the world can achieve as just a normal person going through life that has kids, that is a father, that is a husband, that has a 9-to-5 job? Is it possible to get to that level and to fit in training and to be disciplined enough to run 30 miles straight in ultramarathon? So like I said, this is basically a 52-week training plan. I have a couple extra weeks tacked on the beginning. This is going to be preseason. I think there'll be 2 weeks of preseason, or next week will be like No. There'll be 2 weeks of preseason, and then we'll start at week 0, and on week 52 will be the 30-mile ultra. This is just ramping up this week. I'm gonna go through all the workouts that I did, what training that I'm doing, and how I'm feeling, and how I'm progressing, and what is going to ultimately bring me closer to that goal of running 30 miles straight. All right, so with all that being said, we can just jump right into preseason. Week 1, like I said, I think there'll be 2 weeks of preseason before we jump into the full season. We'll start at week 0 of 52, and week 52 we'll run the ultra. All right, this is first workout of the week. Monday morning, I go to the 6 a.m. class at CrossFit. This was back squat tempo, 5 sets of 3, go down super slow, pause at the bottom, and then come back up. I'm pretty sure I had 165 on the bar, which is about 77% of my 1 rep max. This is so hard. I told the coach this is maybe one of the hardest things that I've done. Not squat snatch, not squat clean. The control on the way down, pausing at the bottom, and then being able to explode back up. That was just insanely hard. And then for the Metcon, we have 8 rounds of squat cleans, burpees over the bar, and toes to bar. RX was 155. I did RX today. I don't do RX every single time, but I did today. The 155 on squat clean comes pretty easy to me, but definitely got to do it in singles. I feel like the form looks pretty good. I could have a little bit more weight on the back middle of my foot, but I felt like pretty good. Burpees always suck. And then toes to bar, I feel like are actually pretty relatively new to me. It looks like I could string like 4 together at a time, 3 or 4. Yeah, it was a great workout. Average heart rate for the whole time was 122, burned 441 calories. Good workout, solid. Always looks easy on paper, and then it's harder when you come to class and actually execute. So with this run coming up, and I'll talk about it a little bit on the run, it's an easy 3, and I'll put the spreadsheet back up here. I have a formula that calculates my it takes my weekly mileage that I'm going for, and then it breaks down 2 easy runs, 1 tempo run, and then 1 long run. So ideally I'm running on Monday afternoon after CrossFit in the morning, Tuesday afternoon after CrossFit in the morning. Wednesday I'm not running. Thursdays we don't have CrossFit, it's just open gym. So I'll run my 3rd run on Thursday, no run on Friday, CrossFit in the morning on Friday, and then Saturday I'll do my long run. So here is the first easy run on Monday evening.
So this week it's 2 3-mile easy runs, 1 quick, I think it's like 2.4 mile tempo run, and then a 3.6 long run. Trying to stay in zone 2, zone 3, definitely not approaching lactate threshold. Feels great outside. It's like 60 something, lower 60s, so it's a little chilly. Just walking here to my start point, but I imagine once I get going, it'll be perfect weather. That's what I like to see. Never see that on a Garmin. VO2 max went up a whole number. It was 40 on my last run, so productive training status. VO2 max is going up, and of course training load was all aerobic, training effect base. Did a pretty good job keeping everything in zone 3. Just trying to really focus on my breathing so that I could push pace a little bit but keep the heart rate down. So feeling on the run felt pretty good, especially cardiovascular wise. The hang up, or I don't know, you know when you're running and you can tell, like, your mind focuses on one thing, that's the most challenging. So for me, it was all muscle related, all legs. The cardiovascular felt pretty good. I was expecting leg pain and it was there. But in my opinion, it's easier to push through muscle fatigue than it is cardiovascular fatigue.
Okay, yeah, so cardio-wise, feeling great, but muscles were fatigued, obviously, from CrossFit, especially after doing squats in the morning. All right, so here is Tuesday morning. This was Snatch complex. Every 90 seconds, 1 snatch high pull, 1 squat snatch, 1 overhead squat as part of a complex. So I started really light. I was already having problems finding where to kind of balance the bar. Maybe I just didn't like having the weight over my head that morning. I was definitely mentally just not there. And then this is 95, 115, 125. And man, I could not get the freaking bar over my head to land. And here's Coach, he is just so over me trying to do this over and over again. Finally got it. And you could even see on my left arm, something was not firing right in my brain. But I finally got it, didn't give up. And then the Metcon, 5 rounds of AMRAP for a 3-minute duration. You do a 200-meter run first, and then a handstand walk 25 feet. My handstand walk looked atrocious. And then you try and get max kettlebell swings. I think I did 40, 35, 35, 35, and then 40 on the last one as well. That was a pretty good workout. Left me feeling, that wasn't a crazy workout. I think I left feeling pretty good and plenty of gas in the tank for the tempo run that I did that evening.
What do you think? Good? Good run? Tempo. Aerobic. Productive. Look at that. We feeling good. 2.4 tempo run, 0.4 warm up, 1.6 tempo at it's like 9:30 pace pretty much, and then a 0.4 cool down at the end. 2.4 miles total. Felt pretty good. I got sweat just pooling into my eyes right now. I cannot see at all. It stings too. Oh, but yeah, that was felt pretty good. I mean, the middle section is definitely tough. Running on the treadmill sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Get those miles in. This morning was pretty light on the legs. Had a little back pain from the kettlebell swings. But other than that, left CrossFit feeling pretty fresh, so I wasn't concerned about this run. It went just as planned, pushed through the middle, switched up the music to some YouTube videos, and that's how I made it through. So tomorrow is Wednesday, probably not running. Thursday, hopefully I can wake up early and hit an easy 3. No CrossFit on Thursday, CrossFit Friday, and then Saturday, super easy, I think 3.6, and that'll be 12 miles for the week.
Yeah, so that was a good workout. You saw my son, James Jr., of course, naturally. I have 2 daughters, and then we just recently had a son. He's just turned 4 months old. So yeah, living that newborn life. He's been great to us, though, giving us good sleep, and my wife is in a really good rhythm with him, and I'm getting plenty of sleep because she is just amazing. All right, this will be Wednesday morning. Bench press, like I said, this is my worst or my weakest lift. Again, this is 77.5% of your 1 rep max. This was 155 pounds for me. And the same thing, control on the way down, pause at the bottom, and then just come up from it. Very hard for me. 5 sets of 3. So yeah, I couldn't even do 3 at a time. But you have, I think it was 90 seconds for each set. Just 90 seconds to complete 3. So I think I would do 2 and then pause for like 10 or 20 seconds and then do the third one. And then the Metcon was a 30-minute EMOM. For the first minute, trying to hit 15 calories on the row. Second minute, 12 chest to bar. As you can see, coach is doing that right now. Minute 3, 50 double unders. Minute 4, 18 wall balls at 20 pounds. There's my chest to bar. That just does not look great. I gotta work on butterflies. I've never been able to make the mind to body connection with the butterflies. 50 double unders. Double unders have really come in for me. I feel like in the last couple months, I can string together quite a few at a time. And then wall balls, always so much fun. Oh, that's not full depth, no reps. I think I was just really not feeling it, but I showed up anyways. And then coming up is my second easy run of the week, another 3-mile easy run.
Second easy 3 was not easy. It was really hard. Felt after about 1.5 miles, my blood sugar crash. And I'm gonna do some more research on it when I get back to the house. But my best guess is what I had for breakfast, which was protein shake, protein bar, just because I was in a rush. That's all I could get to. Because the rest of my day was pretty normal, complex carbs, proteins. But yeah, that last 1.5 miles was really, really rough. But I finished, and let's see. So I got 3 miles at 11:33. Not bad, actually. Zone-wise, right in zone 3 for pretty much the whole time. Training effect was base, or like that. Training status is still productive. VO2 max slowly increasing from really, really low, but we're getting better. We like productive status on Garmin, so keep it up. Tomorrow I got deadlift at CrossFit, and then Saturday is, I think it's just 3.6. So that should be easy. It's supposed to be really cold I'm glad I got these gloves. It's 55 degrees tonight. I felt overdressed in a sweatshirt and I have on joggers. Probably could have done if I had like a long sleeve, like dry fit and shorts and maybe gloves, and honestly I would have been fine.
Oh yeah, that run I do remember was hard. Sometimes on my runs I feel great, and sometimes I just really hit a wall, and I feel like a majority of the time it's just fueling, not properly fueling, and I feel like it starts at breakfast. You have to have a really good breakfast, really good lunch. And if you're running after dinner, a good dinner that's prepping your body for the run, fueling for the run, which is easier said than done sometimes. And then here's Friday's workout, deadlifts. Same thing, 5 sets of 3, tempo. Oh, check out this transition, pretty cool. Very nice. 1 rep max on this is 77.5% of my 1 rep max, which is 275 pounds. And yes, I'm using straps. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm training for deadlift, so I'm not worried necessarily about strength. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like a knot. When I pull up, I can feel it. I feel like it's gonna pop out of my back or something. It just feels really weird.
And then the Metcon was clean and jerk, handstand push-up, rope climb 3 times, each time add a weight to the bar, but do less reps on clean and jerk and handstand push-up. And this was the first time I did handstand push-ups. I did plates in the ab mat. I think I did 10-pound plates in the ab mat. So I was a little bit closer to it just being a flat plane, and it felt pretty easy. So I think next time I can do 15 or 25 pounds, so it's just flat. And then there's the rope climb. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but I can get up there. That was a fun workout. I like rope climbs and clean and jerks and handstand push-ups. Huge fan of that workout, apparently. All right, and then one more run on Saturday. This is my long run. There was a lot of training this week. I was feeling pretty tired, but I got out there and got after it anyways. So here's the footage and my commentary afterwards.
That was a great run. The middle section was definitely hard. Just mentally, I got that knot in my back. That didn't give me too many problems the whole time, but here and there, just a little agitated. Kind of got my mind thinking about the wrong things in the middle of the run. So, all right, let's see. Training effect base. Load 75 and productive VO2 max still at 41, but we like productive. 3.6 miles, 11:52 pace. I want to see heart rate, average heart rate. I think this is maybe the first time. Average heart rate 147, max 162. Yeah, so that felt really strong for me today, was staying in control of my heart rate. I feel like that's the first run I've ever gone on over 2 miles, pace at or below 12-minute mile, and my heart rate stayed below 150. So that was a huge win for me. I do feel like this time around, my running schedule and my CrossFit schedule, I am improving very, very quickly. So when I first started running, I think building up the aerobic base took a long time. And I was also 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. So a lot of the improvement I feel like was just because I was losing weight and it was easier to run with less weight on you. And then I guess like phase 2 of running would be about last summer, spring, summer. That's when I started running, adding running back in after I started CrossFit. And my VO2 max started to skyrocket. But my wife was also pregnant. I might have got sick in there. My kids might have gotten sick. And my wife just got to 8-9 months pregnant. And you can't do, as a husband, you can't do what you could at 1 or 2 months pregnant or not pregnant. Had to help out with the kids a lot, help her, just get around the house. And obviously that's the least I can do. I mean, she's literally growing a human inside of her, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like out of the 3 distinct times that I can think about doing kind of a training in running, I'm improving most rapidly this time. So that's exciting. I am tired. Didn't want to work out yesterday. Didn't really want to run today. But something about my personality, I really like checking off the boxes. So having it all programmed out already, I think is helpful for my brain. So I'm like, it's on the list for Saturday. You gotta get it done. That's the way my mind works, I guess. So yeah, felt good. Just a little bit of mental, physical too, I guess. My legs. I mean, it didn't feel super springy. It wasn't, I'm not saying it was easy, but it felt good. And I got it done at a pace and heart rate that I'm actually quite thrilled about. So that's it for this week. Next week, this week was 12 miles. I had 2 12 miles. I don't know if I did 12 miles last week, so I think next week might be 12 miles again. That's a really weird noise. What is that? I don't even know where it's coming from. Next week's either 12 or 14. I can't believe I'll have 50-mile weeks. I think it's just one 50-mile week this year. But yeah, there we go.
All right, that wraps up that week. Total mileage was 12 miles. Went to CrossFit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Overall, I was feeling pretty fatigued by the end of the week. Definitely looking forward to rest day on Sunday. Friday, that knot in my back kind of showed up. Saturday, I was feeling it on the run, so hopefully that doesn't really turn into anything. At this point, definitely feels sustainable, but I have to be really strategic about recovery and rest days and also fueling. There was a couple times in there where I think fueling was the problem of why I was feeling so fatigued. Next week's target is 14 miles and go to CrossFit all 4 days like normal. Eventually, I will have to taper how much CrossFit that I'm going to because my mileage is going to ramp up so much. My legs just won't be able to handle the load. But that's way, way down the line, like October, November. So I'm not worried about doubling up CrossFit and running right now. So preseason week 1 is done. Come back next week for preseason week 2. And then we will start at week 0 out of 52 of 30, a 365-day experiment.